What's good, everybody? It's your girl Jakayla A, and I'm back with another tutorial on this pretty look. First things first, I'm gonna start by using this manicure bit to get the cuticle off of the nail plate, and it really exposes the dead skin. Then I'm gonna go in with my nipper and just cut the exposed dead skin. Be careful, don't do this if you don't know what you're doing. Don't want to cut nobody. Then I'm gonna go in with my sanding band, and I do believe it's a 180. Yeah, it's a 180, and I'm just gonna go over the nail lightly to remove the shine. Here my client is showing me what she wanted, and she wanted to recreate this pretty look at @_new_nails with 2 S's on IG. She's from the same city as me, very popular and very talented. She goes viral a lot. If you like watching nail pictures and stuff like that, you probably seen her. She does really great work. This is the 2X coffin, C-curve coffin nail tips from Zulay nails that we're using. I hate that I have all these bags. I wish I had like a long tray to put them in, but I don't, so I just work out the bags. I'm just blending in the nail tip with the natural nail, not doing too much with the natural nail. We already prepped it. This is Young Nail Swipe in a polish bottle, and this is a Young Nails Protein Bond bottle, but it's not even protein bond. It's no lift nail primer that can be found on Amazon. I do 1 layer of the swipe. I let it dry completely back to ashy white nails, and then I go in with 1 layer of the no lift protein bond. If it was protein bond, which is also really good, I do 2 layers. If you want to do no lift and protein bond, that's just a magical combination right there. But this no lift has a tendency to burn because it is acid based, so just make sure that you don't get it on the skin, but it works like a dream. I now use dental bibs, these pink dental bibs, and then I use a shop towel over that. So that's my new setup for application. Okay, so this is what I use, guys. I use a chunky glitter. I use this beautiful glitter from a cart. I use Valentino Prettiest Pink. I use the nail cakery Pop Rocks, IGel Beauty, and Mello Yellow. This was the culprit that gave me all the difficulty, but we turned it out. But oh my gosh, so hard to use. And then I use my clear Young Nails nail art. I use the Mission Gel and Overdrive, and I love these Savvyland ones. It comes with a black, but I still have this one open, so I use that one. And I do love these though. I really love these. As always, my monomer is Glam and Glitz. And my new brush that I'm using is the size 12 Kiara Sky brush with this pretty crystal handle. Okay, so my client here today is my bitch Barbie. She is a dancer. She is so fine and so bad. So she always gonna step with the nails. You know, she's gonna come through. She's gonna want something long, and she's gonna want something extra. So I love that she brought this to the table. She's also very particular. Like, she's very much giving, I want this on this finger. I want this on this finger. So here I am making a chart and a mental note of it, so I don't have to keep asking her or bothering her, or, you know, ask her to show me the picture, because she wanted to combine some bears and charms and, you know, just take a little riff from the actual picture that we were looking at. So here I am just writing it down specifically so I can, you know, have it to a T. But I be telling people all the time, like, don't feel bad when you know exactly what you want to a T. Like, you shouldn't feel bad about being particular about what you pay your money for. I see if you're being rude, but she's very not rude. She's like so polite and such a sweetheart, but she knows, you know, what she wants. So that's what we're doing. Here I am working with this Mello Yellow by IGel Beauty, and it was giving me the hardest time. I was trying to not cap too much, and I was trying to not really have to use clear. So I'm like, okay, let me build it up with the color, and then, you know, I won't have to do all of that. This hand, I'm so glad I was out of frame, because I didn't even want to show how much of a mess this hand was. I'll show better with the other hand. But this color, if you get this color, you can see how much of the color is on the paper towel. Do not try to soak up all the liquid out of your brush and use this color for the structure. I feel like this color is meant to be used as a wash of color, and then your structure has to come from your clear, or if you use a base for whatever reason, underneath this color. This color is meant to be used wet, and you'll see that better on the other hand. But yeah, we did 2 ombre nails, a glitter with the yellow, a glitter without the yellow, and then a reverse French smile line situation. And I'm just really trying to make it so that it stays in one spot, and it's very hard to do. So I had to reset my napkin because I had yellow all over my paper towel, and I had to reset my liquid. And here I am knowing a little bit better about how to use the product. So I go in with my glitter because I wanted to use a glitter powder for the base, because I knew we were going to have 2 full covered nails in stones. So I went ahead and I set those up first. It was at this moment that I realized how to use the product. Look at how you have to just put a wet ass bead down and then just brush it. It's like it's so much pigment in it that, and I guess barely any powder. I don't know how the fuck I could save this. Maybe I could mix it with clear and save it. I have no clue. But it's so much pigment in the powder itself, and it does show up very nicely, like deep sunshine yellow, if that makes sense, to be sunshine and deep. But the color is rich. That's what I mean to say. The color is rich, but the formula is ass. 4 out of 10 would not recommend you buy it. But if you do buy it, or if you do have it, that's how you work with it. I went ahead and ombre up a glitter. I knew this was going to be the nail that had the bears on it. So we did the yellow towards the tip, ombre up the Pop Rocks glitter from the nail cakery, and then I put the Macart glitter and the chunky glitter I got off AliExpress over the top, and then capped it in the Young Nails clear. So now it's time for a reverse French. And I'm doing some new shit. I'm trying something that I saw somebody else do. I already know how to do it. I already got a method for it. But I was trying to be brand new. And it kind of bit me in the ass. And it made my experience a lot harder. I got it together in the end. But it made my experience harder. Usually I go one bead at the cuticle. Not all the way up. Just kind of a little bit down, and then I slide it down and form my oval shape and find my shape. This time I took my first bead and I took it right where I wanted it to be. Instead of sliding it down, I took it right there and tried to work it backwards to the cuticle, or blend it a little bit, so that when I put in this cuticle bead that I'm doing now, I can blend it down. It was a fail. I was too worried about the tip. I was too worried about the gaps on each side. It looks like a triangle. So I went in for another cuticle bead to help smooth it down and to fill in that gap right there, to like make the cuticle to the skin flush. You know, that part right there. And I ended up with two gaps. So there I am taking a very dry bead to fill in one side, combing it over, or, you know, smoothing it over, blending it over, but not trying to be too wet because I wanted to say where it is. And I have to take another small bead to fill in the other side. I don't know how that person did that, but it didn't work for me. I think I need to put more reverse French in videos so that you guys can see how I usually do it. I think it's much more easier than this method, but I did want to try something and, you know, see if it could be easier for me, because I think doing nails is all about easier and smarter ways to do it to get the same product. Look at how that yellow just flow. Look at how that yellow, that's like a wet ass dripping bead of yellow, and it just flow down. That's that logic to me is so weird. Like, I don't know. I was glad that I finally found out how to make it look nice or presentable, because it was just so hard to work with. Like, it just wanted to be runny so bad. No matter how much liquid I tried to take out of the brush, no matter how small of a bead, how much I tried to pick it up dry, it just really wanted to be runny so bad. But anyway, yeah, that method for the reverse French is the harder way. Don't do it that way. And here I am with my prettiest pink, blending down my ombre. I will admit, I don't think prettiest pink was the best ombre color for this. I don't even know if prettiest pink is a cover. You know, like, I don't even know if that's a great cover, but I just wanted a pinky nude tone, and that was the best that I had at the time. But yeah, I don't know if prettiest pink is one of my favorite covers. However, by itself, all standalone, gorgeous. Like, I really love this color. It's the perfect pink nude, but I just didn't think it was a cover, or maybe my technique was a little off. This formula of this powder being so loose and runny made this part of doing her nails the worst. Like, this was the most hellish part of the whole process. The powder did not want to stay, and because I knew how it acted on the first hand and how wet and runny it just wanted to be, I knew I would be sitting here packing on this color for the longest time. I knew I didn't want to cap, so I had to make sure that my yellow part of this reverse French was as thick as the nail bed part. Obviously, the Valentino performed just fine for me. It was great. I had no issues. So the issue was making sure that the yellow didn't want to just melt away. But it did. So that was the weirdest part. So I end up with a very lumpy, very bumpy situation here. But these are the times where you just cannot panic. Like, you just cannot panic. If you make a mistake, you can do it over. If you mess something up, you could take it off and fix it. You can always repair the situation. If it's too thick, if it's overdone, you can always file it and reset. Or you can file it, and if it's too thin, you can go back. These are the moments where you just have to not panic and know that it's okay. You can fix it. It looks crazy right now. Like, I'm looking at it. I was doing it. I'm like, oh, I'm making this so thick. Like, it looks crazy. But I knew also that I could fix it. So it comes together in the end, and you'll see how it comes together in the end at the filing part. But you don't want to make your colorful tip on your reverse French thinner than your nail bed area, unless your nail bed area is thicker on purpose. Or you'll have to go back and cap, and I didn't want to do that. So, yeah. And now it's time to file. I have my 80/80 grit file. I get these at my local nail supply store. They're also on Amazon. And I am finding my shape. First, I hit those sides. You probably didn't see. And then I'm coming across the top to smooth everything even. Be patient with yourself. Don't hurt your client. Put a little bit of, muscle, a little bit of elbow grease in it. Not too much. You don't want to hurt your client. But you definitely do want to make sure it's even all the way across, and that might take some time. Be patient with yourself. As patient as you were when you were putting on the other color, be that patient while you're filing it even. It'll take time, but it will get there. So now I'm going in with a sanding band to really perfect the shape and really see the smile line. I want it to come through. I'm looking at it from every angle. You cannot tell in this frame, but you got to look at it upside down, damn near. Look at it all around. I'm going in with a 5-in-1 fine. I think I got this from Pana, available on Amazon. And I do this same process: hand file, sanding band, 5-in-1 on all the nails. So now it's time to design. And there was a unicorn nail in this design. I never did a unicorn nail this way ever. Only way I ever did a new unicorn nail was when you build the acrylic real thick, and then you take the edge of the drill bit and you kind of like form it and you shape it and you find the unicorn that way. That's the only way I've done it. But I do like this way better. I think it looks prettier and more consistent. It's more even. Yeah, I just get a more even product with this method, and so I like that. One thing that I did do wrong here is that I should have put my top coat first and then went with my lines instead of the reverse way. Still came out pretty, but it would have showed more or been more effective if I did it the reverse way. Or I should have probably made my lines thicker. One of those two things should have happened, but like I said, I did still like the end result. All right, I told y'all she wanted to add the bears. It's 2 bears on each nail. And I've tried all the ways, okay? We're using acrylics today, but I have tried the Macart Bling Rhinestone Gel, the Zulay cluster, the Beatles cluster from Amazon, and no thing has held as well as acrylic when it comes to charms, bears, the kawaii charms, all of that. Acrylic is top tier, baby, okay? And this Speed Clear from Young Nails dries very clear. And so would recommend. Also, we're going to hit the back. I'm using my 3D brush that I do my 3D flowers with. You can use anything that's Kolinsky. And so, yeah, acrylic for charms for sure. Then there was a little smiley face, and she's just telling me how she wanted to be, and I'm just making sure that I'm doing it right. Hindsight is 2020 as always. I definitely should have used the base coat. Would recommend whenever you're using any type of nail art design, drawing a letter, drawing a number, drawing a face, use a base coat. On top of not using the base coat, I also didn't buff these nails. It was a lot going on. It was taking long to do this set. Her mom was rushing her. It was like a 3-hour set. It was a whole thing, girl. We was talking like we had a lot going on. So, yeah, this definitely took 3 hours. And so I was already like, oh, you know, when you get into that space where you're like, oh, damn, it's taking a long time. So, anyway, I forgot to buff the nails and I forgot to add base coat. But you need to do that before you do art. I did one black and we did one yellow. And that's what you see me doing here. All right, it's time for our bling nail. I got this big tray of bling off of AliExpress. I just pulled a couple pieces for each side, and we're gonna do like a junk style with the bling. So it's several different sizes and shapes. I'm just trying to get that look and that feel that the picture kind of gave. I'm using my Zulay in the squeeze bottle. 10 out of 10. I don't know what it is about this squeeze bottle, but it keeps it up much neater and cleaner than the one in the brush on. And so y'all know this is just my favorite. So yeah, I would recommend wearing a mask when you're using this, especially if you use a lot. It was getting all in my eyes and everything. I had to put on glasses and a mask. It's a very strong smell from the glue, but it's all good, bitch. It worked, and it worked real good. So definitely go ahead and safely use it, but would recommend got to buy you at least one of these little squeeze tubes, and they are $10 a piece, but they last like a good amount of time. Unless you just do full bling outs on every single client that you have, you'll have this glue for a very long time. I buy them like 2 and 3 at a time. Wax pencil, it came off of Amazon, or it came with some stones. Y'all know how they be. Give you like a little free tweezer or wax pencil with your order. One of those two things is where I got this, but you could get them off Amazon. And I'm just mixing it up, making sure that I don't do any one size for too long, and just trying to make sure I mix it up so you can get really that junk feel where it's just like all thrown together, but it's so blingy and real cute. And I did one of these on each hand. And for the finishing touches, just an SS12 on each of the smiley nails and some cuticle oil, and that was it, y'all. And this is the finished look. I want to thank y'all for watching. We are almost at the 500 subscriber mark, where there will be a small giveaway. And so I'll see y'all in the next post. Bye.